I just got myself a spacer laser. Yeehaw! Wow, wow, wow. Bark, bark, bark. Bowie, wowie, bark, bark. Hello? Get over here! Boom, one shot. Yeah, that was awesome. Oh, large daddy! Bum ba 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 da ba da ba 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 da ba da ba da 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 ba da 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 ba 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 da ba ba da ba da ba. What is wrong with this game?
Who likes good news? Everyone? Then good news, everyone!
You shall not pass! I'm gonna murder somebody! Thank you all so much for your patience. I had a little bit of a rough time getting my toddler down for a nap today, hence why I started 20 minutes late. She is asleep though. I was really, really worried I was just gonna have to throw in the towel, not stream today, something like that, because we had a really hard time putting her down last night. Sundays are hard for her because she misses a nap. And each time I put her in her bed, she started to cry. She wanted this stuffed animal, this stuffed animal, this stuffed animal. She has 6 stuffed animals in her bed right now. I was like, you know what? I don't even care. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I will get it for you. You want Bluey? Here's Bluey. You want Bingo? Here's Bingo. You want this stuffed penguin? Here's this stuffed penguin. You want your unicorns? You have your unicorns. But finally, I think she was just so tired that she just... as I was rocking her and singing to her again, she kept asking for one more song, one more song, one more song. And I was like, ugh. I'm sitting over here looking at the clock like, Like one part of it is I have people waiting on me, and then the other part of it is I'm like, this is my time. If you don't nap, I don't get my time, and I feel like I'm a worse mom when I don't get to like have my time. So first of all, I have to give everybody shout outs for being here. We've got Shine Spark, Plasma, Chiron. How's it going, you guys? We've got Alchemist, Dadbods. Did I say Dadbods? Dadbods in the Chattermax. Jordachi and Jordachi's resub. I am so grateful for that, Jordachi. Thank you so much. We've got Grandpa, Chain. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you guys. And Landrider. And before she walks in and asks for a cup of water, no, she can't get out of her crib yet. She's still in a crib. She's not 2 yet. She's still in a crib. So Charlotte actually never, all good, Susie. I'm out and about and always get the alert. Oh, I'm so glad. I tell my kid the same thing, Chain. I say the same thing whenever my kids start throwing tantrums. I'm like, I do not negotiate with terrorists. Nope. You can throw your tantrum all you want. That is not gonna get what you want. Actually, go ahead and throw your tantrum. That's actually gonna make it easier for me to not give you what it is you want. Granted, she's like 1.5 years and she doesn't understand that. But yeah, no, I do not. Alchemist is like, just 6 stuffed animals? Rookie numbers. So Charlotte has one of those like stuffed animal, like, thank you so much, Jordachi. I love you, and I really appreciate the sub so much. Oh, I forgot to put my ring on again. I take it off when I go walking, or else it gives me a callus because I push a stroller. So Charlotte has one of those like stuffed animal hammocks. So it hangs in the corner of her room, and she has so many stuffed animals, and she always wants more stuffed animals. And every time I'm like, are you willing to give up a stuffed animal to get this one? I just realized I'm also not wearing any mascara because I was unprepared today. Oh, dang it. Lou, thank you so much for the lurk. I kind of feel like I look, well, you know what? I don't even look that much different. I'm waiting until I can go get a set of eyelash extensions put back on for my confidence, but we just fixed our AC, so that was not really the time for me to go drop $100. I was watching someone stream Guilt earlier. If it were easier to gift a game, I would gift this one, but Steam requires an email and PlayStation requires you to log into a person's account. Do you feel like I could handle Guilt? Like, you feel like that's very kind of you to want to gift a game, actually. That's really, really nice of you. No crying. Nope. We're not doing anything crazy plot-wise today. I don't know. The closest thing. If anybody wants me to play a certain game, like, or to give a certain game a try, and they do want to either like gift a game or whatever, you can always just Venmo me and just say, this money is for this game only, and I will abide by that as a contract and say, okay, I will not take that money and buy something else with it. But I don't want anybody to feel like they have to do that, because you definitely don't. If there's a game that you're just dying to make me try or whatever, then, you know, that's on you. That's fine. But either that, or I guess people have like Amazon wish lists that they put on their Twitch page, but I feel like that's either Amazon wish lists or like Steam wish lists or whatever. Yeah, careful what you wish for. I've actually thought about upgrading my... It's funny you mentioned Dead Space, actually, because I just interviewed my brother for my next little like Game Spark podcast video series, whatever. And we talked a little bit about Dead Space. I was kind of surprised. I was really surprised. I won't be uploading this video until Friday because I only want to do one once a week. But I was actually really curious when I interviewed my brother, because I feel like, oh, that's true. This money is for Outlast or Dead Space only. Oh shoot, I gotta make like a contract and be like, I would be willing, okay. Dare I say, I would be willing to play just the very beginning of a creepy game like that, but only if I didn't have to purchase it. Like if somebody else let me borrow it. Well, it was kind of like Dark Souls. When I played Dark Souls, we played my brothers, and I didn't have to feel like I'd wasted any money. But I would be willing to make some sort of like spooky game beginning, like a community channel point challenge, but I don't want to actually own the game because I know I'm not gonna play it. So it's funny that you guys, it's funny you guys mentioned that, because yeah, Joe was talking about When am I graduating her to a toddler bed? That's a great question. I didn't have to do that for Charlotte until she was at least 3. Charlotte just never showed any interest in trying to climb out of her bed. She was fine. It was our safe place. She was happy with that. And actually, it took her having nightmares from something she'd seen. She saw this baby Einstein and one of the puppets freaked her out. It was this Vincent van Gogh. And it was a goat with like paint splatters all over him. And for whatever reason, she was absolutely terrified of that goat. And so she kept not wanting to go to bed, and she was old enough to like communicate that with us. And so I was finally like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to break your crib down. We're going to give you a big girl bed. We're going to move your room around, and it's going to be really exciting. And I thought maybe that would like help her, and it didn't. So maybe that was like, well, now I don't even remember, but so I have actually played Celeste, and I did die a lot, and I loved Celeste so much. It's been a really long time since I played it, but I am totally down with brutal platformers because I feel like I'm relatively good at platforming. I loved Celeste. So anything in that same vein, I really, really loved Celeste. But it's true, any opportunity, Chains has any opportunity to terrorize the streamer, we're sharks. I would draw the line at Dead Space though. I don't think I could play Dead Space. And to be totally honest, when I say I couldn't play it, it's not just, that's not me being like, well, I just can't handle it. It's me literally physically not being able to move forward. Like I would be so frightened. I would not be able to. And as far as Venmo goes, let me think about that because I think maybe I would create like a separate Venmo account or something and then I could put that. But I don't want you guys buying me games. Stop. No. That is just I have so many games on my backlog and that's really, really kind of everybody, but I certainly don't want people to feel like they have to buy me games. I will say if you want, I will put this out there. If there is a game that you are more inclined for me to play, or you want to see played or streamed, I am more inclined to play that game if it is purchased for me than if I'm left to my own devices and be like, what game should I buy next? I just don't know. So take that for what that's worth. Sending Cuphead. Okay, so I've never tried Cuphead. Oh, you're only allowed to have one Venmo account? I thought you could have like a business. Can't you have like a business Venmo versus, maybe I'm thinking PayPal. Or maybe there is Venmo business, but I'm not a business person. Mario Maker 2, viewer level stream incoming. Oh man, yeah, no. I've never tried Mario Maker because I am terrible at making levels, but I would definitely be willing to try other people's levels, so I never really thought about that. I thought I had to like make my own levels. Business profile is attached to your personal profile. Oh. Yeah, I'll have to look into that because like I said, I am not opposed to like, that is so kind and that is up to you guys. Like I said, if there's a game that people want to see more often or more than another, I am more inclined to play it if I'm gifted it by somebody by a long shot. But if I'm left to my own devices, I'll kind of be like, well, I have this game already, or I have this already, but I certainly don't want this to open up into like people being like, oh, we need to buy all the games. But I do love platformers. Chiron, if you have not played Guacamelee, if you liked Celeste, I highly recommend Guacamelee. It's not nearly as like hard, but the platforming in it is really brilliant, and they did a really great job. Guacamelee 1 and 2, highly recommend. Great platformers, really funny and silly. Excellent games. I was really surprised. I went in with kind of low expectations and I was really, really surprised. Hey, it's Parvis! Good to see you, Parvis. And I saw Yito of Time. How are you? Good to see you. It's so good to see you. Let's see. Speaking of, Epic Games gives out a free game every week on Thursdays for anyone with a free account. I think I do have a free account. They're not always something I'd love to play, but sometimes they give some really good ones out. I should probably check Epic Games like once a week. I just forget about that. I have like, well, I already have enough to keep up with, right? I check Deku deals pretty regularly. I was gonna buy Haiku the robot the other day, but then our AC broke and then I felt guilty, so I didn't buy it, even though it was only like 10 bucks. What are you gonna do? I have played Ori and I have played Hollow Knight. Let me say right now, Hollow Knight is one of my all-time favorite top 5 games. hands down. I'm actually considering Hollow Knight for my giveaway. I do not have the giveaway prepared yet for today. I was not able to really kind of put the time and effort into coming up with what I wanted to do for the giveaway. But I love Hollow Knight, and I loved both Ori games. Second Ori made me cry, like sob. It was so heartbreakingly sad. I was devastated at the end of that game, and I loved both of them. I thought they were really great. Both Oris, the soundtracks, the mechanics, all that stuff. It was very Hollow Knight-ish, but it worked. It was still okay. It worked. And then Hollow Knight is just one of my top 5. Hollow Knight was like a spiritual experience for me. Like, I had never played anything quite like it. I still haven't played anything quite like it. And I did stream Hollow Knight a couple years ago when I was still really kind of new to like streaming games. Dude, I would hold off if you can. She had it. Okay, but she had the hardest time going down. She screamed and screamed and screamed. Okay. Okay, Cuphead. I've never played Contra. I just wrote a haiku in honor of that game. One robot, not by. Writer's block, here to say. The end. Okay, I'm listening. Because Andrew is fixing our... He's fixing our garbage disposal. Hollow Knight is great. And I think it's a staple for every gamer, my opinion. And I believe Silksong is not a myth, but there are a lot of people out there who believe it's a myth. I think it'll happen, but I'm waiting for it to like them to take their time. I don't want them to like rush. I want them to be able to do it on time. I didn't hear anything. I was waiting for like a I didn't hear anything. No, but I would keep the monitor with you. Hey, it's Max! Silksong is a fever dream. I know that's what everybody keeps saying, but like, I don't know. And I've heard great things about Cuphead. I loved Hollow Knight. I loved the Ori games. I really loved Celeste. I really loved another really great game that was kind of an underrated game was Children of Morta. Children of Morta was really good, and it goes on sale a lot. They've added some extra things that I haven't played yet, but Children of Morta was different because it was more like instead of a chosen one, it was like a chosen family. It was that same 8-bit pixel art style, which I really liked. Every family member had a different like fighting style. And you could only use certain family members for so long before the corruption sickness got to them and they had to kind of recover. So it forced you to kind of utilize different people. But it's also roguelike where like every single time you go into the caves, it's a different layout and a different setup and everything. It was great. Children of Morta was great. And I feel like, oh, see, Land Rider gets it. Yeah, I feel like most people I've talked to are like, I've never even heard of that game, but it was great. I really, really liked it. It had a narrator. The story was great. I thought the ending was phenomenal. I loved it. I thought it was super awesome. I've thought about streaming that one because it's been forever since I played it and I don't remember much about it, but I have so many games I haven't played that I should stream instead of games that I've already played before. So, you know how that goes. It is. You started Morta. It's on the go back to list. Got it. Sorry, I think my screen just... I had to change the... Anyway, whatever. Cuphead is like Contra. Now ShineSpark is interested. Auto Cucumber makes me type things I didn't Nintendo. Hollow Knight is just one of those experiences that it's really hard to describe to other people. You kind of have to just be like, I remember, so ShineSpark had not played Hollow Knight. And when ShineSpark first came into my chat, we were playing, I was playing Super Metroid, which I've played before. And we were talking a lot about side scrollers and, you know, Metroidvanias and things. And ShineSpark had never played Hollow Knight. And I was like, dude, you have to try Hollow Knight. If you like Super Metroid, you'll probably like Hollow Knight. And lo and behold, ShineSpark does like Hollow Knight. Thank heaven. I was gonna feel really stupid if they were like, oh, it's the worst game I've ever played. I'd be like, oh, sorry. But it's kind of like, you can't really explain. If you just say, well, you're like this little bug and you go through this world of bugs and like it's got really great music and really tight controls and it's just a really, really great platformer. It doesn't sound, it's not That's not what Hollow Knight is. It has so much more to it, and it's one of my top 5 and will probably forever be one of my top 5. I agree. Hollow Knight original soundtrack, yeah, I listened to it over and over and over and over and over again after I beat it because I wasn't ready to like leave that world yet. After I beat the game, I still would just boot it up and just wander around. I knew there were things I could potentially do. I never did I never did the third Colosseum, and I never did the Pantheon. Because I'm not one for boss rushes, which I know Cuphead does have some boss rushes, but that's not my thing. Hollow Knight is a bug's life in heck. It's true. It's actually really true. Like, there are some crazy times. Like, and there were some times where I was just like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. There were some really crazy parts in that game. I loved it. But because it was, because it was like, the animation was so quirky but it wasn't nightmare inducing, at least not for me, even though Deep Nest gave me some really serious anxiety. It wasn't to the degree where I was having weird nightmares about it, like I would with Dead Space. Super Metroid is my teenage years, and Hollow Knight is so top tier. I wouldn't play it if I didn't know it was Super Metroid, right? Like, see? Changing lives over here. GameStop is selling Metroid Dread for $27. Wow, that's the lowest I've ever seen it. And Skyward Sword for $22. Skyward Sword Switch edition? Of course, what am I thinking? What, on the Wii? Okay, way to go, Susie. Way to go, self. I think we're gonna do Lureline Village today. Also, somebody told me about wait a minute, what time is it? Somebody said there's a door, a small, tiny door. Oh, there is a shrine. I think I have to do this Yiga Clan quest for this shrine. Regarding great soundtracks and getting kids to sleep, my daughter literally used the Ori soundtrack as bedtime music multiple years. It's actually a really good idea. My daughter, Charlotte, she really likes listening to like game music. She really loves the Horizon Forbidden West soundtrack. Who can blame her? And actually, just now, as I was struggling with putting my toddler down, I actually thought to myself, you know what? She might be old enough. Like, it might be time for me to start playing music. She has White Noise Machine in there, but it might be time for me to start playing music because it would just be something kind of different. I bought a little while ago on like Apple Music or whatever, I bought like all these Disney lullabies. I wonder if I should start playing those for her. Yiga Clan quest is great, especially the reward at the end. Okay, but it's not the same Yiga Clan quest. Like we finished Master Koga, right? So this is, somebody said there is a small door on the way to Gerudo Town. Whatever that means. Is this the path to Gerudo Town? Because I went here. Master Koga, like, needs his own game. Oh, it's probably in that desert rift. I also haven't been over here yet to this place area. Hang out. So the one I'm talking about is right here. So you go inside this place, and the guy, there's like a big giant Yiga Clan guy, and I don't think it comes up in shrine quests though, but there is a shrine that comes up on the map, like right past his door. And so I'm assuming that's the only way to get in there is to actually do his quest. So it's a totally different quest. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was in the canyon. Wait. The canyon? You mean like, not the rift. You mean like oh, hold on. What canyon? Like this canyon? Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what they were talking about. There's a door on the way to Gerudo. That must be what they were talking about. I thought they were talking about out here in the desert, but I think they were talking about this one. Okay, well, I've activated that one. Where is it? I hope everybody's having a good Monday. Mine was going pretty well until my child started to fight her nap. But she's asleep, and Ander took the monitor. I knew she was tired. I knew it. Okay, where is it, though? It's... Oh, maybe it is a shrine. Oh, oh, you know what? I bet it's a side quest. Nope, that's where I just was. I'm sorry. I bet it's a side adventure. Yep, Yiga Clan exam. That's the one you're talking about? Dude, let's do it. Whoa, Mystic! Zandiel the Mystic. Am I pronouncing that right? Can I just call you Mystic? How are you? Welcome! And it's Lima! How are you, Lima? Canyon to the west of the chasm. Different than Master Koga Quest, although his music is the best boss music in the game. Agreed. Have you ever played Okami? His music reminds me so much of Okami, and the Okami soundtrack is great as well. Okay, well, you know what? This is what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna go and do this quest. Oh, and look at that. Oh, I'm not, okay. I could really use some sand boots, actually. Hey! Dude, those Gerudo ladies. Upsies. Hey, Majora, how are you? What's up, what's up? You haven't missed much, it's okay. I did Hyrule Castle last stream, but I haven't done anything plot-wise since, and I'm still not quite ready to finish the game. Like, I could. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Not ready! But I do want to hovercraft. You know what I will do, though? I will pull out the right pieces. Man, I'm always running low on fans. Always. And sleds, apparently. Make me a hovercraft. And then we'll go yonder. That's the one. Go make your offerings to the froggies. The froggies? Glory to Master Koga! More like demise of Master Koga. I loved Master Koga. Master Koga was so great. That was such a wonderful, like, I feel like, hello? I feel like in Breath of the Wild, the Yiga Clan was just kind of like, okay, like, yeah, so they caught you off guard sometimes and kind of like you got to a point where you never ran into Yiga Clan anymore because you knew all the sketchy people out there were Yiga Clan. But I really loved that they kind of brought more kind of craziness to them in this game, and am I going in the right direction? Here. Oh. Wow, my aiming is impeccable. The little statue things look like frogs. Oh. I know what you're talking about. I don't know, probably in the kitchen somewhere. But if you can't find one of those, just go, so, okay, all right, see you later. Wait. 22 fans? I beg your pardon. I think I have 3. Unless there's like a, oh. I was going to the wrong place. Okay, all right. Sometimes I do have ADD when it comes to this game. I don't actually have ADD, but when it comes to this game, I do go, I'm gonna do that. Oh, look, I'm gonna go, okay, well, I'll come back to you. Just give me a second. Yeah! I am so smart. I am so smart. So is this like... Okay, hold on. That was so great. Hey. Go get a water cup or something. Oh, she's watching some stream. So is
Not
this
like a regular mom. I'm a
oh
cool
my
mom.
gosh. I try to be a cool mom. Sometimes I feel like I'm a really bad mom, but it was great being able to play as Master Koga in Age of Calamity. Well, that sounds exciting. Oh, this is the... Oh, now there's just a big old sinkhole? Okay. That's fair. We'll go down here. Called it about the water cup. You did! It was just the wrong one. It was Charlotte coming in. I thought you meant my toddler, but you're right. Charlotte was like, sometimes I bring water bottles into my room because I get thirsty. And I was like, here. Way to go. That's good. Yeah, you should do that. Oh. Wow, that was good. That was really good. But yeah, now she's like she's drinking my water, which I guess is okay because she doesn't have like, it's one thing to let your toddler drink out of your same cup because of all the backwash, but I would prefer her to have her own drink, but it's okay. Lima says, as someone who has ADHD, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are games that perfectly simulate ADHD symptoms for normal human beings. So that's what your brain is like all the time? Like you start one thing and then you're like, oh, oh, oh. That would be really, I would struggle with that. That would be really, really hard to manage. I have a lot of, oh man, I need to make another hovercraft. Gee dang it, you know what? YOLO. Oh my gosh! Using our environment. That was great. Michael says, Susie's so proud of you. I remember the days when you had 7 viewers and 3 of them were mods. Now you're regular 30 to 40 viewers. It's all because of Tears of the Kingdom. Like, that is 100%. Okay, wait. Mystic says, have you finished the Koga storyline? I have. I have finished the Koga storyline. By the way, huge shout out to everybody that's hanging out right now. Whether you're chatting or lurking or whatever, I love you all the same. And I hope you are having an excellent Monday. And I hope... Oh, we are going in the right direction. Is this all that's... Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Like, for real, though. Like, what do likes to do all day? Oh! They just... Oh, my gosh. They just, like, hang out alone. Wait for some unwitting person to come by. Like, what do they eat? Okay. Can we just say that the Master Sword with the silver Bospikoblin horn? Yep. I haven't used a Lionel horn on it, but still. Okay, I don't want to miss any chats. 22 viewers equal fans. Oh! I got you! I love them all. I love you all. 22 fans right now. I wouldn't be here without, like... I mean, I don't know. I guess I would still be streaming, but, like, it's definitely more... Like, the more people, the better. It's just fun. I just have a really good time hanging out with all these awesome people and sharing passions, and I just think it's so great. And I love that Twitch gives people the opportunity to do that. I may not agree with everything Twitch is doing, but I certainly approve of having a platform that can bring so many people from all over the world together. I have so many questions about this. Oh no, I think I know what to do. You stay. Okay. Oh, there's a chest. Oh. How else would you... I mean, I guess you could technically do it through a YouTube channel, but I don't have any interest in streaming on YouTube. I went back and forth about it, and then I was finally like, you know what? I'm not going to try and fix something that isn't broken. I'm perfectly happy with where I am. I am so grateful for the influx of people that some of my Tears of the Kingdom videos have brought in, and things have just gotten so great, and things were great before, and they've just gotten even better, so I'm totally happy. Lima says, I remember saying to my mother when I was a very small child, Mom, I can't stop thinking. Then she said that everyone thinks all the time, but it's too much. My head gets hot. My head gets hot. Bless you, teeny little Lima. Am I supposed to go up there? No. No. Where are you pointing me? Where? Up. Up. Like right here? My parents thought my brother had ADHD for a while, but turns out he just hated school. There's a rock hole there? Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I'm going all the way up to the surface. Silver Bospikoblin horns are great because they aren't super hard to get your hands on, and they have really high damage. Silver Lionel horns are better. Ugh, but you have to kill a silver Lionel horn. No way. There's a what hole? Rock hole? I don't see anything. That's dangerous. Right there. And I could... Oh, I know what to do. This. Is my thing still there? Oh, it is. Okay, so she's pointing up. On the other side? Lionels are pretty easy to cheese if you have pushrooms. Puff shrooms! On the other side. Okay. You know what? I don't think I'll sink in this stuff. I just think... I should have grabbed my... Okay. Oh my gosh, there's like a face! Oh my. Hey, it's Cubic Boy! How's it going, Cubic Boy? How's your Monday? Oh, wait. But that's where I came in. I think. I thought. How are you supposed to... How are you supposed to? How are you supposed to keep it straight? How are you supposed to keep it straight where she was pointing? Thanks for the lurk, Michael! I did all the light routes, got 19 shrines left, and I have 32 hearts and full stamina. Mystic, have you beaten the game yet? Okay, okay. I would really love a minimap. Like, so much. I would love a cave minimap. I do feel like that is an oversight. I wish they gave you, like, a teeny little... They do that whenever you go into, like, Hyrule Castle or whatever. I'm gonna have to build... No, wait. Hold on, I have an idea. Nope. Lies. I need to set my sensor to a frog. Because I know there's one nearby. And then it's going to say up above. Anything in there? I guess I could technically make a... Prep for the final boss! I could probably technically... beat the game, but not probably. I could, but I'm not ready to do that yet. Okay, bubble frog, booble frog, bubble frog. I'm obviously missing something. That's one of the 8 heroines. Am I supposed to take a picture of her? I feel like I am. Maybe? Maybe that was Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna take a picture of her just in case. You never know, man. You never know. Okay. So Cubic Boy just, I just saw this on chat. I don't know if anybody else has yet. But last night, Andrew and I were talking in bed, and Andrew was like, didn't you, oh, he played some sound, like, on an Instagram video or something, and he was like, what's this from? And I was like, I don't know. And he goes, it's the theme from GoldenEye. And I said, I've never played GoldenEye. And he goes, what? You never played GoldenEye? And I said, no. And he goes, this was his words, not mine. He goes, I will play it on your stream. I was like, are you being for real right now? And he was like, yeah. Make it one of those, like, community challenge things. I'll do it. And I was like, done. So I made that today. He said he wants to stream it. I don't know if he would actually play the whole thing, but he said he would stream GoldenEye. Like, we would play it together. But he was like, you never played GoldenEye? And I was like, no. But I said I can play it on the Switch because I have Nintendo Switch Online. So I said, yeah, I have access to it. I can play it. And he was like, do it. Do it. I love GoldenEye. And I was like, wow, okay. Done. So anyway, I have a hard time coming up with channel point community challenges because, I don't know, I just have a hard time. Oh, I see something. I think I see... Oh, yeah. That up there is where I'm going. Yeah, why is she pointing up that way, though? So anyway, I was like, consider it done. Be careful what you wish for, because that's going to happen now. I'm going to make that a community challenge, and everybody's going to pitch in, and it'll happen before you know it. And he seemed okay with that, so. That can't be the only thing that's in this game. Like, there has to be... Okay, I don't want to know exactly where, but where is the province? Like, where is the Bubble Booble Gem guy? Like, whereabouts? Yeah, I've never played GoldenEye, ever. Like, he showed me some, like, footage of it, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't look familiar at all. When we owned an N64, we only owned Ocarina of Time and then this other game called like Shadow Man or something. That was literally it. We didn't even have Mario Kart. But I think I did rent from Hollywood Video. I think I rented Yoshi's Story. I never finished it. Akala? Okay. Okay, that's a good vague hint. That's good. That's good. Okay, but that can't be everything. Right? Right? I don't understand. I've been everywhere. Is my hovercraft still here? No. Follow the statues. Multiple? I only see one! There is one. Obviously. Let's see. Yeah, remember when I was like, we're gonna do the Yiga Clan thing, and now here I am, stuck in a cave. Yep, that pretty much sums it up. That is, yep. By the way, there is a Bluey episode that I think shows ADHD really, really well. And it's a really sweet episode. It's actually one of my favorites, and it has one of my favorite songs in it. It's called Army. It's really good. They use a Jack Russell Terrier to exemplify ADHD, and they talk about how he can't sit still, and he has a hard time focusing, and he has a hard time paying attention, and he can't remember anything. Anyway, it's a really sweet episode. The Bubble Guy's kind of in between provinces. Technically, I think he's in the Elden region. Oh, okay, well that kind of sort of helps. Follow the statues. Is there something up on the statue? Climb your face. Ha! What am I supposed to be seeing? Is there a chest in here? Or is there, like, armor in here? Or is it just a weapon? Because if there isn't armor, I don't need it. Probably not. But after a certain amount of trades, he will move to another spot. Oh, so he moves around. Oh, I didn't know it. It was this place I was talking about. How's it going? Okay, I made your channel point redemption. We're already at 10,000 points from the 30,000 that I set it at, so you better get ready. It's gonna happen sooner rather than later. And there's only one statue! Well, there's two, but she's just a giant face. It's salty! Bluey. There's an episode of Bluey about ADHD. There's also an episode of Bluey about hearing impaired. There's a kid that's hearing impaired. They just do a really good job of representing things that are just, I don't know. Everybody, I don't have ADHD. I don't have a child with ADHD, and I don't have a deaf child, and I am not deaf, so I can't honestly say it's a good representation. But it's, you know, it seems, from what everybody says, it seems like it's a very realistic representation. Tanuki Toad! Oh my gosh, I love your name! Thank you so much for the follow. I'm struggling in this cave, and I think I might just go and do this Yiga Clan quest because I feel like I'm struggling following directions. I'm supposed to follow the statues? There's only 2 statues in here unless I'm missing something entirely, which it could be, actually. So okay, there's the statue. Tanuki has ADHD, diagnosed at 20, and understanding it has changed my life for the better. My whole life makes way more sense as I study more about it. I have heard that from a lot of people. Like, once you get that diagnosis, you're like, oh, it all makes sense now. That's great. I'm so glad. I'm so, so glad people can actually get, I'm glad that can change your life for the better. I think that's wonderful. Hey, it's Jan Steve. Happy Monday. I'm just gonna go because I'm not willing to sit here and like figure this out, even though I know there's something to figure out, but there are only 2 statues. And I feel like I cannot find, although there are like multiple places where there's sand coming in, and I feel like I only came in on one of them. Like this guy, over here. I'm doing well. My toddler had a really hard time going down for a nap, but she did eventually. I started the stream late, but she did eventually. I forget I have more people in chat now, so yeah, we're gonna hit that Channel Point Community Challenge real quick. Okay. Let's go do some frogs or something. I don't know what this quest entails, but we're doing the Yiga Clan quest. Okay. At least I got the frog. That's good. Things are gonna get hot up in hell. Up in hell. Time to pull that hair up, Link. Take your shirt off. Keep your pants on, though. Keep your pants on. Crossbows, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that. I thought the same thing. A couple weeks ago, I was thinking, you know, that would be very, very helpful. To have crossbows? I mean, why not, right? Okay, we're making mighty banana offerings to crossbows. To frogs, right? That's what we're doing? Okay. How far? Oh, there's literally one right in front of me. Okay. Can I wear, like... It's KM! How are you? How's it going? Happy Monday. It's the start of a new week, right? But you know what? It's okay. It's all right. I had a rough... Oh, Link, you climb so slow. I had a rough day yesterday. Sundays are really, really hard for me. Because Ander is gone. My husband's gone most of the day because he has a lot of responsibilities regarding our church congregation. He's the bishop of our church congregation. It's not a paid position. It's a voluntary position, and it's hard. He's been bishop for almost 4 years, and most of the time bishops are bishops for about 5 years. So I'm just trying to make it through. But yesterday was really, really, really hard. It was a very long day, and my toddler didn't nap, so her bedtime got completely screwed up. She screamed more last night when I put her to bed than she's ever screamed her whole life, and it was actually... Is that a Swift Violet? You bet it is. I need those. Yeah. KM also has ADHD and was diagnosed at 20. Oh, wait, I missed what Tanuki said. Tried running from it, didn't go well. God has taken me on a rebuilding journey, and that has been one of the most important keys. I look at it as a superpower, and it's definitely vital for me doing what I feel like I need to do in my life. Crazy that I didn't get diagnosed earlier. I had track and baseball and video games to help. That's astounding. But you know what? Better late than never, right? I think a lot of times it can be hard for people to... well, maybe not when you're older, like when you get diagnosed yourself, but I think it can be hard for parents to admit that their kid has autism or ADHD or something like that. But really, you're honestly doing your kids so much of a favor if you get them that diagnosis, because then they can get the help they really need. They can either have somebody help them in class, or, you know, you can like with somebody who's autistic, you know, you can get like an aide for them, and it changes everything. And I get it that it's really hard to come to terms with that and be like, oh, you know, I have a kid that thinks differently than other kids, you know? But, hello? Are they in caves? But ultimately, you're helping your kid out. Totally. Okay, well, I was just on top of it. So apparently there's a cave around here somewhere, because there's also a frog that's blinking up my sensor. Where's the Lord of the Mountain when you need him? To, like, show me the way. There's gotta be a cave around here somewhere. I mean, right? Right? Maybe it's down here? Is this place still flooded? Oh, there it is. Sweet. Got it. Obligatory. This whole clan is mighty bananas, if you ask me. But, excellent. Excellent, excellent. There's gotta be a frog in here, right? Yeah, there's gotta be a frog. Oh my! Oh, okay. Hold on. We need to regroup. Hold on, hold on. There's 147 caves? That's a lot of caves. Charlotte, my 8-year-old, she wants to play this game after me. And she was like, don't do all the caves, Mama. Don't find all the frogs because I want to find the frogs. Because she doesn't want to start the game. She doesn't want to start a new game. She wants to just have a free reign after I finish the game. And I was like, don't worry, baby. I'm not going to beat all the caves. 147? No way. Absolutely not. Okay, wait. Grandpa said, I found out in my late 30s that I have ADHD, anxiety, depression, and ASD. My first several decades do make a lot more sense now. What is ASD? Oh, autism. Autism spectrum? That's right. Those are a lot of things. That's a lot. Those are a lot of things to deal with and have to like learn how to. I have so much respect for people that have to kind of maneuver, have to, this life is obviously made, like most things are made for a certain kind of thinking, right? And so when you think differently, it's a big struggle. My husband has an older brother who is very high functioning autistic. And it was a challenge. Life is definitely more of a challenge for him because he just has to think, he just thinks about things differently. But he's very successful. He works for NASA. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't quite remember what he does with NASA, but how long are stimulant prescriptions valid in the US? That is a great question. I don't know. Shane says, I don't know that I was ever diagnosed with ADHD, but I was prescribed meds for a while. I couldn't afford the good stuff, so I just quit and figured something out, I guess. Oh, well, hooray for healthcare. I saw that King of the Hill episode where they put Bobby Hill on what did they put him on? They put him on Adderall. And he's sitting there at the table and he's like, there's some milk in the fridge that's about to go bad. And there it goes. It was so funny. I hope that's not like offensive to anybody, but he wasn't supposed to be on it. They put him on it when he didn't actually need to be on it. And so he was like, it was very, very funny. Man, I can't carry any more G-Dang shields! Gosh dang it. I need to go see Hestu. He probably heard me. Let's see. Oh, KM says, sorry that I don't hear anything. I will watch with the audio later. Of KM. They don't give the cool pills without a diagnosis because they're controlled. You must have a diagnosis on file somewhere. Hey, Alchemist found all the caves. It was a bit of a slog. I can't imagine doing the same thing with Koroks. See, I do not have the desire. Oh, I see a mighty hardy truffle. Heck yeah, caves. That's where it's at. What is making sounds? Something is making sounds. Oh. Oh, it's just a regular one. Okay, hold on. Hold on. You go down. What? Ah! Everybody just needs to back off. Just, oh my gosh! Get out of here. You just get out of here. Oh. Okay. Can you? Oh. Oh, yeah, well, they give you amber, which is great. No! Ah, no! I was not ready! Oh, beans. Okay, fine. Guess we're in this now. He has a giant tumbleweed on his, where the heck? Oh, look at you all, like, protecting your boss. Lame. Okay. I wouldn't want to do Koroks either. Like, it is kind of a slog. Like, there are certain people who love to do stuff like that. I'm not one of those people. Tanuki says, I admire your faith and that of your husband. I've been blessed to have some fantastic bishops who've helped me tons. I got diagnosed while I was serving as a missionary in Idaho. Are you a member of the church? This crazy blizzard came in all of a sudden and I couldn't go outside for a few days and serve people. Things kind of fell apart and yeah, went to counseling a bit and got diagnosed. If you ever wonder if maybe there are aliens among you ever wonder if there maybe are aliens among us? You know what? Maybe they're walking around right now. I imagine a mission would be really hard if you have something like ADHD or autism or, you know, any sort of thing that does make it hard, you know, that you think differently. I imagine that's a real challenge. You know what they say? Bishop's wife is... Bishop is a calling. Bishop's wife is a calling in and of itself. Where were you guys? They were all together in a lovely little group. Oh, that was good. Yeah, you take that. You stop that. Yeah, yeah. No, you, yeah. I love getting them all together and like, I don't know how, I haven't done that before. People are throwing things at me. Everything is insane. There's a wild berry. Thanks for that. Yeah, yeah. What you gonna do now? All your cronies are gone. Oh, that's a hearty truffle. Nope, that's a roasted one. My favorite King of the Hill episode is when Bobby is tricked into making a meth lab. I haven't seen that one. We love King of the Hill. Oh my gosh. King of the Hill is so fun. Tulin. Dude, give me 5, my man. That was awesome. He just took him out. Three hits. 3 critical hits. I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. I'll take this big hearty truffle, please and thank you. Okay, well, that was great. It's definitely not how I planned it. I was gonna try and do something sneaky. Did not work. My parents thought I might have been special ed when I was in school. Tried giving me Adderall, suggested by one of my cousins who's a doctor, but it just made me worse in school. Turns out I wasn't special ed. I just required better teaching. Well, there's also that. It's hard when you have a teacher that's like, well, they're not picking it up or whatever. And it's like, well, maybe you should teach in a way the kids understand. All kids learn differently. You can't just teach the same way, which is one of the problems with the public school system, for sure, is that, you know, not all kids learn the same. Boomhauer's my spirit animal. I love when Boomhauer dives off of the... he cliff dives. And he goes, Geronimo! Dangled. I never gave King of the Hill a chance, ever. When it was on TV, I never watched it. And I was like, ugh, I hate this animation. I'm just not down. I didn't like Beavis and Butthead. It was just not my jam. But then my husband started to watch it, and I found myself kind of watching, you know, when he was watching it on like Netflix forever ago. And I was like, this show is hysterical. How did I not know this? Oh my gosh, I think they are so funny. I love all the characters. I love Peggy Hill. I love Bobby. I love them all. They're so funny. I love Dale. They're so great. I do feel really bad for Bill. And the guy who does the voice of Bill actually does the voice in Gravity Falls. He does Gideon's dad. Okay. Same with anxiety. If you have it and start an SSRI, your anxiety will skyrocket till you adjust. Then you get to see what normal feels like. What is an SSRI? Cubic Boy just found your 500th Korok? Will you take a picture of your map and post it to the Discord? I just want to see what it looks like. Like, can you even see the map through all those little Korok seeds? For real. Okay. I can attest to being an alien in human form. I'm just different and reject society and people. I have pathological demand avoidance. Interesting. So you don't like being around people? You know what? I know people like that. I definitely do. Hey, it's Scorpio! How's it going, Scorpio? Happy Monday. I was blessed to have some fantastic... Where did 3 come from? Some fantastic missionary companions. Had a few ones with Asperger's and such. My older brother has very low functioning autism, and I was blessed to have a heart for these things. Turns out I'm on the spectrum too. I wouldn't have it any other way. But yeah, those companions were some of my best. They were very misunderstood. And I'm a member of the church, just diving into the LDSG server for real. Been there for 4 years though. I'm so glad you're here. That makes me so happy. And I just got a Gerudo spear that I don't think I really need. Actually, yes, I will, because I don't like two-handed weapons. I'm sorry. I don't mind two-handed... I don't mind spears, but I don't like, because those are really fast, but I don't like the two-handed, like, gigantic swords that are for... Oh. Wait, what? Where am I going? Okay, I'm looking for a frog. Oh, there it is! Oh my gosh, there it is. I'm the frog. Yeah, I hear you. I can hear you. But I won't. Okay, we need mighty bananas. Here they are. Here they be. Oh, no. I'm not gonna have to fight somebody, am I? Well, other than a keys. Because that's fine. I'll take a keys. That's fine. Okay. Alright. Frog is here somewhere. You can join, here, I'll put it in chat. I have a panel on my Twitch page too, but that should work. I fixed that link, so it should work. Okay, wait. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Gesundheit. You even know what that is. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So do they basically, is that a drug you take that like throws off your anxiety levels or something? That's crazy. Scorpio, what did you use? Did you use Adderall? Oh wait. Okay, wait. Lima says, I already thought we might get devoured by flowers after an episode of Shurato. I guarantee that thinking that aliens live among us is the most down-to-earth thing I've ever thought. Well, I did have a client one time that was an interesting person. She was crazy. And I really mean she was crazy. Like, she probably heard voices in her head, and she had tons of money because her parents, like, both passed away, and so she said they left her this big inheritance or whatever. I don't know if that's actually true, but she used to come into the salon I worked at, and she used to get all these services done, and she wouldn't remember the last time she was here, and she would have these crazy conversations with people, and she actually got kind of physical with one of the stylists one time, and my boss still would not, like, tell her she couldn't come back, and I was like, she grabbed a stylist. You can't do that. You can't put your hands on other people. She's a danger. She scares everybody. But anyway, I had just finished reading, I had just finished reading War of the Worlds, and I was like, I've never really, I don't really believe in, like, little green men, but I said, wouldn't it be great, like, how do you think we would react if aliens showed up? And she got this really serious look on her face, and she leaned forward, and she goes, there are aliens on this earth right now. And I was kind of scared of her, so I was like, really? Tell me what they look like. I just went along with it. She scared me. I didn't want to argue with her or anything. I was just like, okay. That sounds about right. She said Dick Cheney's one. She said they're reptilian and they're shapeshifters. So, yeah, so there's that. It was one of the scariest moments I've ever had. Not because of what she was saying, but because of her body language. I felt like if I disagreed with her or like said not that I would because she's a client, but I felt like if I said the wrong thing, she was gonna launch herself at me. She made me so uncomfortable. So scary. SSRI, technical term for those antidepressant, anti-anxiety meds. Oh, okay. All right, that does make sense. My mom has depression, suffers from depression, and my sister suffers from depression. I have suffered from depression in my life during periods, but they have all been, oh, there you are. See you over there. What an interesting kid. I have suffered from depression during certain times in my life, but it's all been specific times. Like, it's been situational depression. Like, I definitely went through a form of, like, not post-traumatic, what am I thinking of? Like, after you have a baby, what do they call that? Not post-traumatic stress, although kind of, in a way. Postpartum depression. I definitely went through postpartum with my second child. I don't feel like I had it so much with Charlotte, but I definitely had it with Auden. I just felt so sad and hopeless and empty for so long. I was so isolated, and I was miserable. And I couldn't stream because I was tired and everything. When I had my first baby, my husband was able to take, he was working at Wells Fargo, so he was able to like take, you know, a paternity leave. But here, like oh, okay. We're gonna do a little sky jump. Now that he's self-employed, he couldn't just take 2 weeks off. So he was working right after I had my second baby, and I was not prepared. So not prepared. Okay, wait. Yeah, especially with me still being single, I'm so glad God is helping me cherish and love my ADHD. She's gonna have to be really patient with me, but I'm preparing with joy and taking things a day at a time. Thank you so much for welcoming me into your stream and reading my messages. I put you in my auto-hosted streams. Wow, thank you! Did I just miss a dragon? See that burst of cold? It's cold! Prepare yourself. It's really cold out here. I love having new people come into the stream. It makes me so happy, and I'm so glad you found my channel. That reminds me. Ander found the old YouTube videos of this kid that used to be in our congregation, and he's showing them this new boat his dad bought, and he's like, hey, my channel. Come over here, my channel. He's bringing the phone with him. We quote it still to this day. Hey, my channel. How's it going, my channel? Mystic's been coming up with my own made-up galaxy. Do you write books or like D&D or anything like that? Serotonin is a feel-good hormone in your brain. SSRIs make it harder for your body to get rid of the extra hormones, so your brain ultimately uses more of it. When your brain destroys more serotonin than it makes, reuptake, then you get depressed. SSRIs keep your brain from destroying too much. That's the simple explanation. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know how that worked. Pro tip, though, about antidepressants that use reuptake inhibitors. If you have bipolar, they can cause manic episodes. Speaking as somebody with a wife who has bipolar and found out the hard way. Ooh. Man. That's so challenging. Oh, no, I want to go this way. Oh, it is a dragon! Who is it? We're gonna hitch a ride for a second. Minute. I can't tell. By the way, there are people in chat that have not... I think I know which dragon this is. So we keep spoilers in chat to a minimum. Just in case. You never know. Tomorrow! I was just gonna read that message. You know what? It's fine. I'd rather go hang out on the dragon. I was gonna get it. It's okay. It's fine. To me, if someone were to say there are no aliens, maybe they themselves are an alien. Or they have an extremely big ego to think we're the only sentient race in the whole universe where there are hundreds of thousands of galaxies. Well, I believe we're not alone because it's not. Oh, okay. I believe we're not alone either because I believe in a God that created many... Can I run on the back of this guy? Or is it gonna, like, electrocute me? Because I believe there's no way that a heavenly father only created one world full of people. But why we haven't been able to contact other people? I don't know. Oh, no! Oh, my gosh. Yeah, get rid of that one. There we go. Okay. Crisis averted. Does this guy not have any, like, shards for me? Because I'm not... Oh. I was gonna say, I'm not seeing any shards. Hello? Some dragon shard. I needs me some dragon shards. That was all kind of bad news. I'm sorry about that, Chiron. That must be a real struggle. I mean, my heart goes out to everybody struggling with something, because everybody is struggling with something. You know, I may not struggle with ADHD or, you know, like bipolar or anything like that, but, you know, I have my own struggles having a husband who is, you know, self-employed and gone a lot and being home every day with 2 little kids. And although I did just realize the other day, we only have a month left until school starts, which is wild to me. And then my baby will be in 3rd grade. I don't know how I feel about that. It actually makes me... Oh, wow. We went really far from where I wanted to go. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thanks, buddy. It's been real. Ferocious. Ferocious. Ferocious Macadocious. It's going to be his new nickname. If you want to farm star fragments, the easiest way would be to jump off a high sky island at night. Good chance one will pop up next to you. Oh, that is a good idea. Good idea. That is a great idea. I know you can technically upgrade, like, all your, you know, like, other, like, Zelda-y type outfits with, sky or star fragments or whatever. I'm not really interested in doing that, but, you know, whatevs. I respect those people that do want to do that. I'm a somewhat completionist, but not like a 100% completionist. I don't feel like I need to level up all my stuff to every single thing. Imagine that one day someone answers our transmissions into space saying, "Be quiet or they'll hear you." That would make an excellent writing prompt. I did hear a really great story on This American Life the other day where he was talking about, oh, it was a guy and it was a guy and a girl and they were talking about human beings. And the girl was like, well, they're meat. And he was like, what? They're meat. Their bodies are made of meat. Just meat. Uh-huh. Yeah, they're just made of meat. So what we've been talking to this whole time, it's meat. It was very funny. I'll post the podcast episode because I don't know if I could actually find the actual recording of it, but I'll post the podcast episode in the Discord because it was pretty great. The voice acting was great. Oh man, you're cramping my style. Dang it. Take a stone talus heart to the head. Thank you. I am fascinated by... That's my rock salt! Rude! I feel like that hasn't happened very much to me with Tulin, but man, happened there. Eh. And it was just rock salt. It couldn't be so much worse. Yes. I actually know, I realized that's how you farm Keese eyeballs, but every time I run into a cave, I'm too close, and if I use a bomb arrow, I'll just take myself out. But I have done that before, and it's true, you get so many eyeballs out of that. Oh my gosh, I hear you. What? What was that sound? There's so many sounds. You want to play play a game with great sound design, play Darkwood. Excellent sound design in that one. I'm fascinated by, oh, he's like right behind me. I can hear him. Oh, he's in there. I gotcha. I love astronomy, and I love all that. I'm not good at numbers and math, so I could never be an astrologist. Couldn't do that. Definitely not for me. But I love learning about it, and I was fascinated when my science class in 9th grade did astronomy for like a couple weeks. That was like my favorite. I couldn't get enough of it. I checked out all these books from the library. I love it. An astrologer reads tarot cards. Oh, an astronomer. Astronomy. Astronomer. If you think that's bad, I feel old. My niece is going to be in high school. Nobody is allowed to grow up in this house. It's forbidden. Oh, we got mud. I think the frog is over this way. I think there's a like. Oh. Heck. Just, you know what? Just sit back, relax. I just hope we don't meet any aliens that are like the Gortanians I made up because they're really bad. I'm gonna second that. I hope we never meet them. I hope we never, ever, ever. It just makes sense to me that some sort of, like, I believe in God, a creator, right? So it makes sense to me that there would be more, there would be life out there, but I think they would just look like us. I believe, you know, we're made in God's image, and that I highly doubt there are aliens out there like xenomorphs or whatever. If there are, well, God has a really twisted sense of humor then. Just did that. Toys R Us kids forever. This whole region is great for farming fire and ice lives all foes. Fire during the day, ice at night. Just throw some elemental fruit and poof, they're gone. Tulin is the original Angry Bird. He is, and I love him for it. Oh, I love all my friends. At first I was kind of like, oh wait, they're just gonna like follow me around, but I am actually totally here for it. I love it. Love it so much. I'll have to look for Spectacle Rock yet. In Breath of the Wild, I was surprised that it's not on Death Mountain because that is where it is in A Link to the Past. What is Spectacle Rock? How long have I been into streaming, Susie? So I started streaming back when, so we lived in Austin for about 10 years and then we had to move. And we moved because we couldn't afford a house in Austin. And so we moved somewhere where we could afford a house. And I love my house, but I really miss Austin. But, oh, I thought there were 2 bombable walls here. I am obviously missing something. Maybe it's, oh, crap. Darn. So I quit my job that I loved, and I wasn't quite ready to quit, but I quit my job that I really loved, and we moved here, and that's fine. I became a stay-at-home parent. That's not, like, my dream or what I wanted to be, but it is what it is. So, I had a friend, an old coworker of mine that was a streamer. Oh, I get it. They're like, look at this perfect spot for you to ascend. Yeah. And so I had a coworker, an old coworker of mine that had been a streamer. Oh, maybe this is gonna send me up. Well, shut my mouth and paint me red. There it is. There's my frog. So I started doing Twitch Sings. And that's what originally got me into streaming. I didn't have any, like, super cool equipment or anything. I got, like, a laptop to do some streaming, you know, but I just did Twitch Sings. But then they got rid of Twitch Sings, and I was devastated. And I was like, well, I guess I need to figure out what else I'm going to do. I'm either going to... Oh. Okay, I guess we can fight this guy right now, I guess. I have nothing like low defense for... But so I had to kind of revamp and decide what I was going to do because they were getting rid of Twitch Sings. So I started playing games, and it's taken me a long time to grow, but I've obviously grown and I've developed a really great community, and I've loved playing games all my life anyway. So that wasn't the hard part. It was more like shifting from Twitch Sings. And then when I had my second baby, I had to take like 3 months off because I was a brand new mom and everything was crazy. So I've had to restart. I've had to start over a couple times. But I love it so much. It makes me really, really happy. And I've met some of the coolest people, and I really, really, really love streaming a lot. Oh, he's gonna leave me a heart, and I'm not gonna have anything to, well, maybe.
Oh, wait.
Okay. But it's taken, you know, there's a definite learning curve, and it's taken me a long time to kind of, you know, oh, beans. It's taken me a long time to learn, like, what works and what doesn't. Ugh. But, you know, if you enjoy what you're doing, and, you know, if you are consistent, and, oh, Master Sword is bad. I don't know if I want to waste a Master Sword on this. Look at all the gems he's giving me. So kind. So kind. Are we on him? No, we're not. Okay, let me get on your butt. Please. Please and thank you. Ah! Oh, camera angles. Really bad. But I've played games all my life. I love playing games. And I actually have just started kind of this podcasty type kind of video series thing on my YouTube channel where I actually interview people about what their gaming experiences are and what their Spark game is, which is basically a term used in the bird watching world. It's called a spark bird, which is basically the bird that like gets you into bird watching. So I got a really negative comment on one of my videos because I cried in Tears of the Kingdom, the very beginning of Tears of the Kingdom. And it actually got me thinking, like, okay, so like I can't be the only one. I know I'm not the only one. So I just recorded my second episode of that, and I'm hoping to continue that on because I want to hear everybody's stories. I got my sister, and then I just recently interviewed my brother, and oh, I remember this Tellus. Yeah, because I remember being like, I don't know what that is. I think I put an apple in it, but I was like, that doesn't make, or maybe I did. I don't remember. I don't really remember. Spectacle Rock is where the camel beast parked after you freed it in Breath of the Wild. What is Spectacle Rock? Like, what does that mean? Like, what is that? Spectacle Rock? Like, what's the importance of it? Scorpio says, I feel old. My toddler's having play dates with friends that have parents that could probably be my kids. I love that you guys are having, that you're giving her play dates. I think that's so important. I never had play dates for Charlotte when she was little. And Auden is so, my toddler is so much more socialized than Charlotte ever was. She's far more willing to like go to somebody else's house and be there for a little while and like go into like the nursery at church and stuff. Charlotte was attached to my hip because I never ever had play dates with her, like for anybody. I mean, I'd still believe in aliens coming to Earth just to get a Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich. I've never had one of those. Oh, pretty sure you are currently inside Spectacle Rock. Oh. Well, there you go. Pretty much sure. I'm not someone that played D&D for this galaxy I've come up with. It's called the Centera Galaxy. And within the Centera Galaxy, there's thousands of solar systems, and one in particular is the Cortara solar system, home to the planet Gortonholm, planet of the Gortanian Empire, a group of aliens that grow to 10 feet tall. They've taken over many planets and often eat other aliens. So let's hope that those don't exist. The stream has so much energy. It's beautiful. It's all about the journey. It's true. It's all about the friends we make along the way. Hey, it's Joe! It's called Spectacle Rock because it looks like glasses. Really? Well, shut my mouth. You are right. As if you weren't. Like, you guys know more than I do on a lot of these little tiny, these like tidbits. Where was Spectacle Rock first seen? In Link to the Past? Okay. Okay. Let's turn around because there's a Gleeok over there and we definitely don't want to... Oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh, Tulin. Yeah. Thank you, Tulin. Thanks. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go down this way. Using a Talus heart to take down a Talus. That's just how I do it. Oh, is this a cherry blossom tree? Oh my goodness. I need to mark these. How did I not know this was here? Well, then. Here it is. Here we are. If I do this, that will make it easier to find the caves. Give him that apple. He touched the butt. I know what that is. Sandy Plankton said it was a butt. So great. I've had so many experiences of God reaching out to me through video games. Super thankful. Yeah, I feel like video games have touched people in so many different ways, and I love hearing everybody's stories, and I am really looking forward to continuing that. I've got my brother's episode almost done. I have it edited. I'll be honest, I had to edit my brother's episode down a lot because he and I talked a lot about stuff, and so I'm gonna hang on to the episodes, like all the different episodes, like the stuff that I'm gonna hang on to the stuff that I had to trim out because in case I want to do like extra content or anything like that, I want to hang on to those things. Oh, this one isn't in a cave. That is excellent. So I have kind of like extra content for, I don't know, maybe someday I'll start a Patreon or something. And oh, about to cook those bananas. Cooked bananas! There we go. I really did like Joe's answers. He gave some really great insight into why he liked playing video games and whatnot. Some things I hadn't really thought about before, so I'm really excited to post that one. I think it's kind of silly to think only humans exist and no other potential alien species. I agree with you. Oh, it's in like the original Zelda. Oh. Oh my gosh! I see Femi! Look at you all. 16K, Ander Agent 007. How are you, Femi? Okay. There's one. There's another one over there. Okay. I'm in the shade. Can I put on my climbing gear, or is it too hot? Oh, it's close. But it is good. Pink is a color used for desert camouflage. That's why you didn't find it easy. Really? Oh. Guess that does make sense. Alchemist was saying they name all their flash drives after bosses. And I was like, my flash drive is pink. I don't know what bosses are pink. There's that purpley one that kind of looks like Mike Wazowski's girlfriend in the busy weekend. Well, you know what they say. Busy people are happy people. Right? Things are good. I feel like things are good. Yeah, there's a lot of clothing switching happening in this game. Like, a lot. Excuse you. I'm supposed to be ascending. Oh, there we go. Oh, I've already been in this cave. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Are these two different... Oh, shoot. Are these two different caves? Oh. Oh, that's the Blade Master Station. So that is where... Okay, all right. No, I get it. I get it. I gotcha. False. Busy people are not always happy people. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. It is possible to... Oh, see, I would shoot y'all, but, then all that would just go to waste. It's down here? What? Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, that was really close. Okay. But as far as streaming goes, this just popped into my head, but as far as streaming goes, I'm also kind of like a walking cartoon character, so that works for me because I'm just a really animated person. You have to be somewhat engaging and animated, especially in the beginning. Maybe later on, once you kind of develop a community, you know, you might... I don't know what Bo was doing, but that's okay. But, you know, it definitely helps if you can engage and really, you know, really be engaging with your audience and whatnot. I try not to miss any chat messages. I really do. Sometimes I do. But I try. I do have the hero path mode. I do. I don't activate it very often, but... Yeah, okay, so I was really excited about, like... Oh, that's right. This whole place is flooded. I remember now. So I came to the desert second, I think, because my sister had gone to... Oh, cramp. My sister had gone to the I think she did the water place second? I can't remember, but I wanted to go, like, the polar opposite of where my siblings went. Okay, we're just gonna make a jump for it. Thanks, Tulin. Thanks for the boost. Oh, it's like over there. Could have just warped, I guess. That's fine. I have a weird kind of thing with deserts in all games. I always love the desert areas in all the games I play. Hyper Light Drifter, Zelda, the desert place is always, always my favorite. I can't explain it. I just always like the desert. Skyward Sword. I really loved the desert in Skyward Sword. I loved the desert in Breath of the Wild. I loved the desert here. Oh, it's like... Oh, wait. There's a cave I didn't know existed. It's right there. Let's go get it. I do love the game journey. Oh my gosh. That should probably be another Channel Point community challenge. I should have my 8-year-old play journey on stream. She can do it. Like, she can totally do it. She's done it before. She hasn't played it in a long time. But she... Oh, that is perfect! That's perfect. We're gonna mark this guy right here as a cave. And then we're gonna recall this buddy, old pal. Although, I just realized it fell on its side. So, it's gonna be kind of awkward. I can't do that while I'm standing. Oh no! I was gonna recall this guy and like write it. I'll just hang on to the side. Ah! Ah, beans. It's gonna fall. Okay, yeah. Oh, can I, oh, yes. Okay, no. Yeah, I'll change you in a second, buddy. Old pal. I should make that a community challenge because Charlotte really loves that game and it's been a long time since she's played it, but she can do it. She can absolutely do it. She needs me to do the scary part, so she says. Although that's just gonna... You know what? In the time it's taken me to do this, I might as well just... Oh, it worked! Hallelujah. Okay. Oh, there is a cave over there. Okay. I hope for DLC we can play as Zelda or Rauru. I don't know if they'll give us the opportunity to play as other characters. Did Breath of the Wild do that? Give us, like... I loved Journey so much. And I played it really late in the game. Like, really late in the gaming game. It was, yeah, okay. I didn't get a PS3. I didn't get my hands on a PS3 for a long time, and so it was really late. I came to that party really, really late. But I loved it, and I was really sad that it wasn't very long. But Charlotte could play that. I also told Charlotte the other day, she asked me if she could play Stray, and I was like, absolutely. You could totally do Stray. There's no fighting, nothing like that. There are, you know, there are, like, puzzles and things, but you could absolutely play Stray. So that'll be another one that I think she should try. Oh, I loved Hyperlight Drifter. I have a sweater with, like, that cool Titan design on it. It's my favorite sweater ever. I wear it like every single stream around the holidays. Like when it's cold outside, it's like my favorite. It's my favorite piece of clothing I own, honestly. Hey, Mystic, thank you for following me. I appreciate that so much. I'm glad you're having a good time. I'm sure having a good time. Okay, we'll go into this cave and then... You know what? Octorok, you just need to calm yourself down, please, sir or madam. We'll get the frog and then... Yeah, Hyperlight Drifter. Oh, that is not the cave, though. That's just the entrance. The exit? The exit. I bet it's over there. Oh, I bet it's up. Maybe? There he is. Get out of town. Get out of town. I'm gonna hammer out more shrines. Okay, so I have this really bad habit. I find shrines, but then I don't actually do them. I just... Hey, you're a squid now! Oh my gosh, welcome! Just caught up on past stream VODs except this one. Oh, I got Sage 5. How are you? Welcome! I remember seeing you in my little activity, my little thing down there that shows like who like followed my channel or whatever, because a lot of times it happens when I'm not live. And it's a lovely surprise. And I actually remember being like, oh my gosh, I love that name. I love everybody's names. I have never been so just smitten by everybody's, just the cleverness of people, like overall. I love everybody's names so much. I have gotten the 5th Sage, yes. So funny thing about that, I actually got the 5th Sage really early. Well, I don't know if really early is the right term, but I got the 5th Sage before I got Yunobo. Yunobo was my 4th. And I was under the impression I had to get all the sages before I got that one, and now I understand why. Like, that's technically the storyline, but I went and made that happen before I even went to fire area. Mine is a Splatoon reference. I've never played Splatoon, actually, but I've heard great things about it. But I love it. Either way, doesn't matter. I love it. Wait a minute. Why is it still beeping? Like, why? Yeah, so I decided to just blindly make my way around that Sky Island. I was like, surely there's a better way to go about this, but I'm too stubborn and I'm gonna do it right now. So yeah, I blindly made my way around. Get your last of the Yiga outfit. I did do that. I did get that done. Yeah, see? It's still telling me there's another one. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I guess we'll just have to fly there. No, I have not beaten Ganondorf yet. I did go to Hyrule Castle, so I did do the whole Hyrule Castle thing, but I haven't actually finished the game yet. I'm not ready to finish the game. I'm really not ready. Like, technically in the game I am, but like mentally, I am not ready. Not gonna lie, kinda hope your stream crashes so you need to relaunch, and then we can just wrap up the Ander challenge. I know I should have made it cost more money. But I told him, I was like, you better get ready because they're gonna want that. They've been asking for you to do stuff for a while. Daptex, how are you? Good to see you. Happy Monday. Look at all them caves. Okay, so I was under the impression that when you, oh my gosh, there are so many caves. Okay. Some of them are like entrances and exits, right? But still, holy cow. I came over here after I had activated Lord of the Mountain in another area. And I remember coming over here and there weren't any cave openings showing up. And I was like, oh, I guess there aren't very many caves. I didn't realize you had to like go activate the cherry blossom tree where the area was. I thought it was just kind of like all across the map. Nope, I was wrong. Okay, wait. Playing Splatoon is why I'm not fazed by Link constantly changing clothes. Okay, that's good to know. It doesn't faze me so much. It's not quite as bad as, like, Majora's Mask. Having to constantly change masks in Majora's Mask. But maybe that's because Majora's Mask makes such a big deal out of it and does those, like, animations every time, which you can skip, but... Okay, wait. Oh, it's down here. Right? Yeah. Oh! Don't we go, like, behind the waterfall? Where is it? Oh, wait. Is it back here? No. Hey, Padawan! How are you? Hey, and it's Costco Man! Costco Man. Doing the I'll take the Swift Violet again. Thank you very much. I am confusion. Where is the... Oh. Okay, wait. Did you hear about the new Tears of the Kingdom amiibo? They have a new Zelda amiibo, and the look on her face is just so sad. The figurine is in her pose before everything happens. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's just what I need. Sad Princess Zelda staring at me from the corner of my desk. I actually don't own any amiibos, but that's actually a really beautiful one, but I'm... Oh my gosh, I haven't cried that hard in a video game since... Where am I? Probably since... Well, I don't know, because Ori 2 made me pretty sad. Granted, I was also pregnant when I played Ori 2, so... Could be... Oh, it's right there! I see it! Oh, I see it! It's right there. Yeah, yes. It is. Okay. Oh, yep. That's right. That's right. Just hold on while I change into something a little more comfortable. Okay. I do remember you from last stream, Costco Man. Oh, I'm cold. Let me in, please. Please, let me in. Yeah. It's cold out here. Let me inside. Still trying to wrap my head around being a grandparent. But that grandson of mine is, oh, so cute. Little potato baby. They do. They look like little taters. All of them. And I love them for it. Although I will say, I do not miss the newborn stage. That newborn stage is like really cute for me to see somebody and be like, oh, you've got this cute little baby, and I'll hold it for a second, and then to give it back and like be like, okay, done. Thanks for the follow, Costco man.
Oh.
All right. Inner Sanctum. The reward is valuable and only found in the depths. You should know that it is a great honor to receive one. Pay no heed to the strange glowing ruins you may find inside. We haven't yet decided what to do about them. Wait, what? What's important is your hard work in overcoming the Blade Master exam. All glory to Master Koga! So say we all. The glowing ruin. Oh, is he talking about the shrine? Okay. I have concerns. I'm scared he's gonna know I'm an imposter. You dyed your Yiga outfit yellow? I should dye mine a different color because this color is not a great color. You know what my favorite color is? Navy blue. Oh! It's pristine. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, wait. Before I go in there, is there a frog in here? There must be. Where are you? Yep. I literally only arrow those guys. Also, one time I got really lucky and I was able to hit that little like bloopy that runs out and it doesn't give you any rupees. So, just FYI all your eyes. No rupees from the bloopies. From the bubble booble gem frog bloopies. Rock salt. I have so much rock salt. Does she have the eyes? Oh, the amiibo? Oh. Yeah, I don't have any amiibos, but I do think they're super cool. First time I ever really realized what an amiibo was when I saw the ad for the Metroid Dread amiibo, and the fact that it would give you like once a day, it would give you like a new, like an extra energy tank or something. That's when it clicked what amiibos do. I would like to see it live, but it's not every day that I can manage to be here. Listen, I totally get it. There is no perfect time for everyone. I wish there was, but I got so many people in so many different time zones and all sorts of stuff. And I used to stream in the evenings, but it actually started really affecting my sleep because streaming gives me energy and it's like, it hypes me up and I get really excited. And so it was really hard for me to sign off and then like go to bed. And I finally just realized, like, my baby takes a nap every day anyway, and I don't get anything done during that nap time. If I'm not streaming, I literally either, like, just scroll on my phone or I sleep. But then I have zero self-control, so then I nap for 2 hours, and then I don't sleep that night either. So it made the most sense for me to stream while she sleeps, but the problem is every once in a while, like today, she had issues, and she's gonna give up her nap eventually, so someday I will either have to move my streams to the evenings, or I'm going to have to figure out some way to like have somebody watch her. I don't know if I'll be able to stream every single day though if I do that. Definitely cannot afford to pay somebody every single day to come over and watch my kid. Okay, wait. The Blade Master, the Earthwake technique? No. I thought this is where you learned it. Whoops. Sorry. She's overexcited. No! Oh, I was gonna say, can other people see my friends? But of course they can, because, like, the baddies go after them. So yeah, of course they can.
Oh.
I am now officially a Blade Master. Why not go visit the hideout to spread the good news? I'll be fine. I assume that's where you learn it? At the hideout? Okay. I need to warp so I can look at my thing. I have been to the hangout over there, but I haven't actually poked around. Like, I remember getting inside and then being like, I think I had to end my stream that day. I just never really went back. Have you planned on when you're going to face Ganondorf? Oh, that's what you were asking about. I have not planned. Oh, I missed my. Gosh dang it! I missed my my loading screen. Okay, hold on. I don't have that planned. No. But I promise I will post in the Discord when it will happen. So I'm not just going to go live one day and be like, today's the day. I'll make sure it's kind of like widely known. And I will do my very best. 129, 120 light roots. Okay, I know I have all the light roots. So I have 129 shrines activated. So what? That's 149. How many are there? 152. So, hold on. That Discord. So that means I have gone through and I am almost positive I have compared every light route. And I am almost positive I couldn't find one that was missing. So that either means I am blind or that I've missed some in the sky. Which very well could be the case. But I feel like I've been to every large area that would have a shrine in the sky. I don't know how many there are in the sky. 23 remaining. Wait, how many? Oh, 152? Oh my gosh, I thought there were one. No, wait, if I have 149, that means I only have like 3 left. 50, 51, 52. Yeah, that means I only have 3 left. But my guess is they're 120 on the surface, 32 in the sky. Whoa, I definitely don't think I have 32. Use the hero path. It saved me. I was today years old when I realized that the name of each light route is the backwards name of the corresponding shrine on the surface. Today years old. One of us! One of us! One of us! No, I didn't pick up on that until somebody mentioned it in stream. And I was like, oh yeah, no, I totally knew that. No, I did not. I mean, there are a few islands I haven't been to. Okay, wait, how many in the sky? Oh, I have 129. I was counting light routes and shrines. Those don't count as the same thing, right? There are 120 light routes and then there are 152 shrines. You're like, Susie, no, do your math right. No, I have 149. If light routes aren't counted, then yeah, I'm... Okay, how many are there in the sky? Oh, it helps in the sky. But I've been everywhere in the sky. Oh, I really wish they wouldn't show you. Oh, that's better. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, okay. Like, I've been to all the main islands. There are a bunch of really small islands here around, Amber! Hi! You're missing one in Fair and Sky. I am? Over here? Oh! That's what else I need to do! I got that started last time and then I did. Oh, like right here, maybe? Question mark? No, that's a construct. You know what? That's okay. We'll figure. Is there only one shrine here in Fair and Sky? Yeah, I need to do that. I don't know how many I have in the sky. I wish there are 2 in Fair and Sky, so like around this whole area. You know what? Okay. You know what? Let's go do that. Let's go and finish that so I can actually have a clear... That sounds like a good idea.
Hey, I think you're really cool.
So I have a clear idea of what's going on.
Maybe we can hang out or something.
Thank you for the follow, Amber. It's so good to have you here. Point out which shrines I'm missing. Like I said, I don't want like spoilers, but at the same time, like vague hints of a game this size. It's like, this game is so gigantic. Okay, all right, okay, yeah. Let's do that. Let's like clean up the sky so I can see what I'm working with, because I went in there totally blind. And I was just like, no, I refuse. I don't know what this is for, but I'm gonna find it. And I did early on. There is a shrine in the Thunderhead. It's very difficult to get to without clearing the storm, but still possible. I mean, I feel like I found one. I should probably change out of the Yiga Clan outfit. Probably. Just a hunch. Where are my people, my people? Where are my people, my people? Okay, there's a frog around here somewhere. Wait a minute. Oh, it's below me. Of course it is. Yep, yes. Okay, but wait. Am I supposed to just, like... Are they up there already? No. Oh. There you are.
Oh.
I'm here. Calip is a little full of himself. Yeah. Yes. See? I didn't know that either. I was just like, wow, this is crazy. No, it comes later. It comes later as like a later quest. Behold. I don't know what I'm looking at. Dracozu Lake. Okay. But I'm worn out from setting up the base. No, have you seen the man? Like, he's a tank. No, no. He is full speed ahead. I can just tell. Okay, what is it? Something lake. Oh. Here. By the way, not saying you should change course, but the best reward from the Yiga quest is found in the hideout after becoming a Blade Master. You can't make the lightning go away, but you can make it so you can see more than 2 feet. Oh, okay, that's helpful. Oh, so I should go back to the Yiga Clan hideout. Wait a minute. That's weird that they wouldn't move the little thing down to the lake, but okay. Oh, to the southeast, the Zonai Ruins. Zonai Ruins. Here we are. Yep. Yes. Oh, that's where the excavate. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's all coming together. If you check Discord, you'll see I just posted the amiibo. Oh. I want to see this picture. Also, welcome to the Discord. Cubic Boy in the Discord. Tanuki in the Discord. Look at that. Stistasine. Scene. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I don't know if I could handle that sitting on my desk. Thank you for posting that. Cannot handle. Clearing the storm is how you find the 5th sage, assuming you find it by doing the main quest stuff. Yep. I totally missed out on that one. That's okay, though. That's fine. Well, we'll go get the reward from the Yiga Clan. What is it, 244? I'm not in any hurry. I am taking my time with this game. Okay. I'm going to try and put together what I want to do for a giveaway. I reached 60 subs, which I'm so grateful for. Also, I did find out I can... Oh. Oh, that's right. It's like buried under the... Whoa. What? Where are we? Oh, that's where we are. Okay, yeah. I did find out I can set like an alert to happen when a goal is completed. But I set up my goal through Stream Elements, and you have to also start the goal on Twitch. I didn't realize that, so the next sub goal or whatever goal I have, I'll be able to do that. So I can actually be like notified on stream, you know? But I will put together what the giveaway will be, and we will do that this week. Preferably tomorrow, if I can make that happen. I wanted to make it happen today, but I also have to I have to get on StreamerBot and see if I can pick a random user. I know people use like Nightbot and stuff, but I wonder if I can use StreamerBot to do that instead. Sorry, my man. I'm also new here, but welcome everyone. Seriously. I love all these new people. It's been amazing. Look at all those caves. Oh. Over there. I don't know if I've gone in that one. Not. I love meeting new people, and I love... Oh, wait. I know that cave is there. Yeah. Look at all that. Look at that. Amazing. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, where am I going? Okay. I know where I'm going. Yeah. I still have a couple videos I think I need to upload to YouTube, some VODs and things. I got kind of behind over the weekend, but you're such an introvert. Yeah, when we go to like get-togethers, my husband is the type of person that's like texting me from the car, like I'm in the car, where are you? I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't want to leave. Although I feel like over the years, I have definitely grown more to, I've learned to appreciate my solitude more, but I also feel like that's not because I've gotten older or anything. It's literally because I'm a stay-at-home parent and I am surrounded constantly by my children. And so I have definitely learned to accept and be okay with being alone. And that was something I never ever thought would be possible for me, but I do love people. And when I get around people, they give me lots of energy where they drain my husband. So he's your quintessential introvert. It's not that he doesn't like people, but he always explains it this way. He wakes up in the morning with a full people meter, and the more he talks to people throughout the day, it empties. And then when it's empty, he's like, I can't be around people anymore. I wake up with an empty people meter. And as I talk to people during the day, it fills. And I like going to sleep with a full people meter. He likes going to bed with an empty people meter. So, and I was like, that's actually a really good way of describing it because that's exactly how I feel. I love people. And I'm also one of those people, oh no, that's not what I need to do. I'm also one of those people that literally always has something to say, which is one of the reasons streaming works well for me because I'm able to like always have something to say. Tadpod's like, that's my life. So wait, are you the introvert or are you the extrovert? Yeah, that's how Ender is. And Mystic almost has the full Wind Waker set. Do I have the full Wind Waker set? Wind, Time, Awakening. No, wait. Twilight. Trousers of the Wind, Tunic of the Wind, Cap of the Wind. Oh, yeah. Okay, so... Wow, that's a lot of bananas. So many bananas. Bananas. Okay, so, like, do I go up... I imagine I talk to that main guy in the middle. This music is great. Yeah, like everybody here wants to sell stuff. Spikes, get your spikes. Oh, I rose to Blade Master. I agree with your husband. That's my favorite introvert extrovert explanation. Yeah, he was like, it's not that I don't like people. I like people, but he said that the great thing is when we go to like get-togethers or parties or whatever, I'm the one that does all the talking, and he can just kind of like follow me around and just kind of like follow me around. And then when they ask a question, go, how are you guys? I can be like, oh my gosh, we're great. So the other day this happened and blah, 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 especially when it comes to family, because Andrew doesn't want to sit there and answer questions over and over and over again. And I'll do all the talking, and he appreciates that a lot. So, oh, tell me what your name is. Sue. Sue. It's not Sue. It's something different, but that's what I remember. No, that's what I'm seeing, but it's not that. It's like Audrey? Is it Audrey? Tanuki says, the best way I describe myself is I am an introvert. I am an ambivert. I can be so curious and then I can't stop talking and I'll talk to anyone. The other times I 100% just need my space so I can vibe and recharge. I do feel that way sometimes, but like I said, I feel like a lot of days I get overstimulated by my little kids and they always want to be on me or clinging to me or talking to me. Like Charlotte is just like me and she talks constantly. And the other night I had my Switch and I wanted to play in bed and I was like, Charlotte, listen, I love you, girl. You are like my bestie, but I don't want you to talk. And she was like, at all? And I was like, well, just keep it to a minimum. Like, it's been a long day. Like, we're kind of, you know.
Oh, did that work? Oh, it did, okay. I was like, it's been a long day. By the way, I cut that down for everybody. Minute and a half. Voice changer, good. Minute and a half. And she was like, well, who do you think I got it from? I was like, I know. Audrey, that's right, I thought that was it. This clan eats bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This clan eats bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Teach me your ways. Yes. And she was like, who do you think you learned it from? I was like, I know, it's me. I love being around people. Then I start a conversation and I'm like, how are you? Okay, I'm gonna see what's over here, bye. I mean, everybody's different. I always have something going on in my head. And I would spend all day long at my salon I worked at talking to people all day, and then I'd come home and still talk to Andrew. And there were times where he'd just look at me in like slack-jawed astonishment, and I'd be like, what? And he'd go, I just don't understand how you've been talking all day, and you still have stuff to say. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. No idea. Yeah.
The AI demon. Yeah, I did it only for a minute and a half. Everybody said 3 minutes was too long, and I totally feel that. So I'm here for the people. So, you know. Oh, this is new. Oh, that's right. I never went, like, inside. That's right. This is bringing back so many memories. Oh, my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hooray, I can count. Man, look at all this crazy stuff. Y'all are crazy. How much battery do I have? Well, there are my batteries right there on my hip. I think I have that many. That many. Here to steal your soul and your job. I'm the zinger guy. I hang around other conversations and throw in jokes to make everyone laugh, but I can't tell a good story to save my life. Well, my dad is a theater professor, so I grew up with a storyteller. My brother tells really great stories. I really love listening to my brother tell stories. But all 3 of us kids are pretty animated. And we just kind of grew up learning how to tell a story. But part of it is also just because I'm basically a human exclamation point. So everything is big and like really animated and I don't know. I am definitely not for everybody. I will say that. Like Anders, like some people just, I beg your pardon. I mean, I guess I am kind of wearing like a giveaway. Oh, I guess I do have blonde hair, don't I? Listen, you do know why we wear uniforms, right? To look uniform. When you think of Yiga Clan emerging from the shadows, you think of them as a fearsome, largely identical unit. I mean, yeah, okay, some of us are a bit bulkier than others. But that Link-like hair of yours sticks out like a sore thumb. So you know what? I'm not gonna let you in here. At least not until you learn how to fall in line. Well, I think that's rude. We have like the same hair. Training ground on top of that tower? Are they gonna dye my hair? Like, how? I have so many questions. Okay, he says if you make it through the training, I guess I'll let you in. Okay. That voice sounded like sound card about to die. Restart computer. Yeah, we went through all the different voice mods, and we all picked our favorite back when I very first... wow, that ceiling is like... It's looking a little worse for wear. Guys, I want to kind of... Yeah, my dad was a theater professor, and my mom was a music teacher, so our lives were just theater, music, band, all that kind of stuff. And my dad has a one-man show that we actually watched last Christmas. He has two, but one of them is a Christmas one, and we actually watched it on Discord last Christmas, and not everybody will get it. It's very, I don't know, it's not for everyone, but we watched it together, but it's very funny. So he obviously plays all the characters, and that's what I grew up with. It was almost like having a dad with multiple personalities, but it was like, is that what I think it is? That is the Thunder Helm. Give it to me now. How dare you? How dare you besmirch the Thunder Helm? Besmirched. Nobody needs to be timed out. Everybody's cool. It's all good. Dyeing the Yiga outfit makes it that much funnier because it doesn't dye your hair, and yet your hair is still the thing that stands out to them. Oh, oh no, maybe I didn't. I was gonna say, I think I added a talus heart to a spear, but I don't think I did. Thought about it. Now, newcomer. Like, why? Like, you guys are really talented. Why not use your powers for good? Like, come on now. There's this episode of Gravity Falls where they're looking for someone. The two twins are looking for somebody, and the twins are like 12. And they go into this bar, and they're looking for this guy who's got anger issues. And Mabel, the twin sister, is talking to some big beefy guy. And she's like, is this seat taken? And he kind of glares at her and whatnot. And then like Dipper goes and finds all these things. And then when he's like, come on, Mabel, we need to go. And she's with the guy, and she's got one of those like cootie catchers. And she's like, and he's like looking really excitedly at the cootie catcher. And she's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She opens it up and she goes, oh, your future wife is going to be beautiful. She like totally becomes friends with him. And then she's like, oh, I gotta go bye. And he's like, but will she love me? That's the kind of vibes that I'm getting from this right now. Makes me laugh. Your family just doesn't know how to work a regular job, do they? Well, I mean, my dad was the theater professor, so like he taught. But yeah, like all of us, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It's so great. But will she love me? Show enough promise. Yeah, I want that. Our precious? No. You stole that. That saved my behind in Breath of the Wild. Have you guys seen the video of Link breakdancing to the camel music? I'll post that in Discord because that's great. What's up? Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, dude, we're at 20,000 points, and I made your stream 30,000, so you might as well just get ready to do it sometime this week. I mean, I thought maybe it was, but I now have a lot more viewers in chat, and so more people are contributing, so you better just get ready. Oh. Yeah, he was really excited about it. Don't listen to him. He was really excited about it last night. I know, that's what I'm saying. How dare you besmirch that? The funny thing is Riju says she misses it and then doesn't want the helm back when you walk up to her with it on. Oh, really? That's funny. Show me you can defeat 3 combatants in under 1 minute. Okay. Bring it on. By the way, I don't have any reminders set up because I didn't get around to it, but our next watch party starting on the Discord will be, or on Saturdays, since we finished Avatar: The Last Airbender, which, by the way, made me cry like a baby. It'll be Gravity Falls, and I'm very excited. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay. Oh. Under a minute? Oh gosh. Okay. I just guessed. Oh. Oh, I see why that is a... Wait, what? Oh my gosh, so many of them everywhere! Did I not kill them? Wait a minute. I was kind of sort of not paying attention. Okay. Do you have to go back? Do they have it in stock, like in the store? Will you bring me the baby monitor? Oh, I need to go get her. Okay. Will you wake Auden and give her some milk? Thank you. Yeah, it's 3. I've got to get her on a schedule again. They actually made this version of the Helm by scratch. No, they did not. As a professor myself, I'm not 100% sure I can back up your assertion that professor is a normal job. I did. Look at my cool spear. I mean, yeah. Oh, cool. I mean, yeah, like, he was a theater professor, so that was kind of lots of fun. I actually, so funny story, I actually talked to, I actually took my dad's class, and then I dropped out because it was too hard. And I was like, Dad, I'm sorry. And he was like, it's okay. I'm the hardest professor they've got. Like, that just goes to show that I'm a really great teacher or something. And I felt so awful. And he was like, whatever, man, whatever. So anyway, there's that. I dropped my own dad's class. However, I was in his musical. I played Darlene Love in Leader of the Pack. And being in a musical is really hard work. And I was going through a lot in my life at that point, and I was just not in a position to take all these crazy classes. And I realized I'd bit off a lot more than I could chew. Yes, my dad is the Farley family Christmas guy. It's exactly who he is. Oh, Tanuki, you're so sweet. You're so kind. I love singing, but unfortunately, it's kind of a lot of work to like upload singing videos. It's so much more work than just streaming. So I got really excited a while back and was like, yeah, I'm gonna make all these cover songs and it'll be great. But honestly, I would much rather sit here and play games and hang out with you guys than do a bunch of cover songs. But I do love singing. Okay, wait. How many am I supposed to take down? I see why I need a spear. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, crap, double crap, all the craps. Ah! How many until I get the prize? Okay. Okay, as many as you can. Okay, all right. Cool, good. That show is absolutely fantastic. When did you see that show? That is so funny. That is the first time anybody has ever picked up who my dad was just randomly in chat. That is so funny. Okay, are you a member of the church? Or have you just randomly heard of him? That's so funny. Another target smashed. Because, and I only asked that question because my dad is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and his play definitely kind of sort of has that kind of vibe. Even though he's poking fun at a lot of these stereotypes, like when the person is saying the closing prayer and blessing, you know, there's like a little girl, he plays a little girl that's trying to say the prayer and her uncle keeps going, bless the food, bless the food. I will bless the food, but she's blessing all these other things and saying, please bless that Uncle Heber won't wake up in the middle of the night anymore with his skirt, and please bless that. It's like there are definitely kind of things about it that people that are members of the church will understand a little bit more, but it's funny to everyone. Like it doesn't matter whether you're a member of the church or not. It's still highly entertaining. The Christmas one is my personal favorite. The Farley family reunion it's funny and it's okay, and that's where he came up with all the original characters. But I think the Farley family Christmas one is absolutely hysterical. And we watched it last Christmas on Discord. I did it! Okay, so at first I thought that said a Randy heart. And I was like, whoa, okay, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. I saw him at BYU so many years ago, I'm embarrassed to say, around the internet kids. Also, I'm a member, but from the Bible Belt, so it feels like that show was made for me. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to tell my dad because he will be so thrilled. So I just keep going until, like, you can get it on DVD. He still sells them on DVD, or I don't even know if he sells the Christmas one on DVD. I think he does. I have one. But yeah, we watched it on Discord, and everybody that came, I think they found it like entertaining, but there are definitely certain jokes that won't really make a whole lot of sense unless you've lived like in Utah. Not even a member of the church, but just been in Utah and been around that kind of stuff. I can't really explain it, but it's still very funny. It's very funny to watch.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll have to let my dad know that. For the first time ever, somebody's been like, oh, is your dad the Farley family Christmas guy? Yeah, so that's what I grew up with. So like my dad had like 12 to 15 different characters that he could pull out on a whim. And it was always like, you just never knew, man. You just never knew. My friends were always like, your dad's kind of weird. Chiron, thank you so much for the sub. You get a song snippet if you want one. Chiron. Wait a minute. Chiron, right? Yeah. No, right? No. Yes. I'm pronouncing that right? I'm not totally, Landrider's like, I am intrigued. We'll watch it again this Christmas for sure, because it is just the silliest song. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Let me pull up the words so I do not. I found a pristine long blade. Now it's fire element. I could probably be better at fusing things. Oh man, I heard this song so many times when the movie first came out. My daughter was obsessed. Okay. Let's see if I can get this right in my... Susie, I wanted to ask, did your folks convert into the LDS church, or were your grandparents members too? I am like a generation member. My grandparents were members. My great-grandparents were members. My great-great-grandparents were members. And then I was born in the church. And I will be totally honest. I was kind of jaded when I grew up in Utah. Like, it was all I knew. All my friends were members. I had my eyes opened. I was baptized by fire when we first moved to Austin. But I did go through a period of really like complete inactivity when my parents divorced and when Andrew was on his mission, and my whole world fell apart. So I had to kind of make the choice to come back and to kind of like put it first in my life again and make some changes and whatnot. And I'm glad I did, because I really do feel like it's a huge part of who I am. But everybody has their own individual journey. But yes, my parents were members born in the church. My grandparents were members born in the church. I'm not really exactly sure where the convert is in my family history. I'll have to look that up. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to sing Into the Unknown. I just want to make sure. You know what? Let me play it just for a second so I can actually like, oh, do I not have it? Oh. Because what I don't want to do is have it be too low. Okay. whatever. I'll try. Ready? Okay. You're not a voice. You're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure. I don't need something new. I am afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. I did not love the first Frozen, but I sure loved the second one. I thought the music was better. I thought the music, like everything about it was better. I thought, personally. Thank you so much for the sub, Chiron. I really, really appreciate that. Those notes. It's a little out of my range. Elsa sings right on my bridge, so some of it I can belt like from my diaphragm, and then there's like this moment, a couple notes where it's like, whoa, and then I have to transition up into my head voice. I can't sing like Idina. She has a very like pointy voice. I don't really know how to describe it, but that's how it sounds to me. Do we know how many I actually need to kill? Do they show up in the same place every time? You know, it'd be awesome if you would all show up like to. Oh no, my thing! Oh, this one's gonna be bad. Oh, crap. Crap. No! Okay, wait. Have I fused this before? I don't know. I think it's already been fused. Dang it. Okay, well, we're in it for now. To the death. Did they give me more time? I feel like they... Oh my gosh! I don't even know. I don't know. We have a family here in Alabama that does the Dean and Company Christmas special. It's a local cable access show that gets more bizarre every year. It's worth a Google. They will tie anything to Christmas. Okay, I need to write that down. What is it? The Dean and Company Christmas special. For those that have seen it, I haven't seen this, but I've heard my dad's Christmas show is kind of like Tuna Christmas. I've never actually seen it myself, but I've heard them be compared to each other. I'm in the same boat. I also watched Frozen 2 right before going to the hospital. Oh, gosh. Well, there was that.
Oh.
I got it! Hallelujah. That is a great reward. You guys were not wrong. Not that I thought you were wrong. Because you guys are amazing. Oh, sweet. So what happens if you change out of your outfit? Are they like, everybody? I assume the same thing happens that happens in Breath of the Wild, where they just keep coming at you until you die. Man, Yiga Clan. Yiga Clan! Means being filled by the spirit, so to speak. How does one get baptized by fire? I feel like I was just put in a lot of really crazy situations that I did not... I just witnessed a whole lot more when we moved... Like this little sticker. It's like, look at our... Oh no, I thought that was the... Never mind. I don't know what I thought that was. Oh, he lets me in now, right? Yes? Yeah. I'm getting Donkey Kong vibes right now. Giant stash of bananas. What? You got a tank schematic? I do need to go around and find the schematics. I haven't gone around to all the Yiga. Oh, that's awesome. This music is... Okay, let's get up on the surface. It's probably about time for me to sign off. Am I going in the right direction? Oh, yep. I guess I could, well... Let me warp out of here. I do miss Twitch Sings a lot. I miss Twitch Sings a lot. It was really fun. Okay, wait. It's basically like, yeah, like I just saw a lot that I'd never really seen before. And it really, I just had to really make a choice for myself and decide whether this was something I was going to live by or not. I really had to be like, it was kind of the first time I'd ever been in a situation where people were like, oh, yeah, I've heard of your church before. I heard you guys like aren't allowed to dance or something. Pretty sure you're thinking of Footloose, but okay. Like, it was the first time I'd ever had people actually question my beliefs and have things that they'd heard back, like things that they'd heard through the grapevine that weren't correct. And I had to be like, oh, well, actually, we believe da 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 da. And then people would be like, oh, really? Like, do you really believe that? And I had to stop and be like, do I really believe that? I had to reach deep inside myself and kind of realize and make and kind of question myself and kind of come to an understanding and be like, yeah, yes, I do. But that doesn't happen a whole lot in Utah so much because there are so many members of the church that everybody kind of, even if you aren't a member, you just kind of know what goes on and like what happens and like what the beliefs are because you're just around it a lot. And so it was kind of my first ever opportunity to kind of be a missionary because I'd never really had to explain my beliefs to anybody or explain like how I believed that or like how I kind of gained a testimony of that really, or how I felt like I had experienced like feeling kind of, call it the Holy Ghost, call it the Holy Spirit, whatever you want to, but feeling that in my life. And I've had a lot of experiences in my own life that I just, like, people can believe me or not, but I know what I've experienced. And so that was probably like, I would say that's baptism by fire, where like people are kind of like, whoa, really? Like, I thought that this, I heard that Mormons, what was the craziest thing Andrew heard? Somebody said, I hear you get baptized in milk. And Andrew was on his mission. They serve missions in companionship. So there are at least two companions. Sometimes they're in trios. And before Andrew could answer, his companion was like, yeah, actually, we do. We baptize in milk because it's good for your skin. It's cleansing and it's white and considered very, very like pure. And the person was like, whoa, really? And Andrew's companion was like, no. And it was more of like, it was more of like one of those like, you can't believe everything you hear. You're going to hear things through like, it's like that game of telephone. One person hears one thing and then they tell somebody else and they're like, well, I don't know. I think it was like this or something. And then it passes through like 7 people. And then by the time that 7th person hears it, they're like, oh yeah, Mormons baptize in milk. No, we don't. We baptize in water. Our baptism age is 8 years old. Anytime after 8 years old, that's when, we believe that you know the difference between right and wrong. My daughter chose to be baptized. My husband got to baptize her, but it's just water. It's not milk. But, there are some crazy things out there. People hear things or they experience things. And what always makes me sad is when people have a bad experience and then they just automatically just think the church as a whole is just terrible because they had one person do something wrong. And I understand that. That's a very human way to feel. But just like people are not perfect. And I believe there was one perfect person that walked this earth. One. And that was Jesus Christ. Definitely not me. Definitely not Andrew. Definitely not even the prophet of the church today. The president of the church today is still not a perfect person. So people are going to make mistakes. And unfortunately, sometimes those choices those people make really hurt other people. But it's no different than any other institution. I mean, you're going to find imperfect people everywhere. So that's the thing that makes me the most sad is when somebody goes, well, this happened to me when I was a kid and I had somebody tell me this. And so I haven't been back since. I'm like, well, that sucks. And I will never say, well, you should just get over it because trauma is trauma. And I get that. And there are people that do really awful things that are members of the church, but there are people that do awful things that are members of other churches too. So it's not, religion doesn't mean you're a perfect person by any means. So, let's see. Daftex is like, whoa, just wanted to make sure you weren't actually being baptized by fire. It's different. Sometimes they're like, I think I know you from somewhere. And others are like, it's Lee, get him. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I'll have to try that one of these days. I can do the earthquake technique without a weapon equipped. Oh my goodness. That is so cool! Okay, Yiga Clan, you're a little cooler in my book. In my book. My church is really involved in a ministry called Celebrate Recovery. It's a Christ-centered 12-step recovery group. Many people think it's for people with substance abuse, but it's not. I've heard someone on Friday, we call it recovery. On Sunday, we call it sanctification. My dad and my stepmom are actually missionaries for the church that work with addiction recovery. And they said it is an incredible experience to work with these people that are going through all different types of addictions, because there's so much more than just only substance abuse. But they have been really, really touched and struck by being able to help people really try to get their lives back. And really, ultimately, I think the most important thing is that the most important thing to realize is that I don't believe anyone is too far gone, and that anybody is. I believe in a loving Heavenly Father that loves his children, and it doesn't matter what choices you make, he's going to love you anyway. The love is going to be there regardless. You don't have to earn it. He loves you anyway. Yes, he has certain things he wants you to do, certain guidelines you should live by, things like that, commandments to follow, things like that, because, there needs to be some sort of structure to this life, right? But I don't believe anybody is far enough gone that they don't matter, that he doesn't want to hear from them, that he doesn't want them to come back, that he doesn't want to talk to them, doesn't want I felt that way during my dark years when Andrew was on his mission. I felt like he didn't want to hear from me, and he didn't want me around, and I didn't matter. And it took a lot of work to come around to deciding, oh, this church is for me. It's not like this gospel, these beliefs are for me, not other people. They're for me too, and I can take part in this, and I can feel that same joy and happiness, even if I'm experiencing trials. And we all experience trials, right? So I just believe in a loving Heavenly Father who wants us to be happy. But I also believe in some sort of structure to this life, and that there are certain things that you should do that will bring you joy. And if you don't do those things, you may not feel that joy. Joy and happiness are two different things. But there are things that can give us happiness for a short amount of time. And then there are things that can give us joy for a long period of time, or for our lives or whatever. Audrey says, we don't practice church stuff. There are a lot of people who don't. Lots of people who don't. Shine Spark's like, I wasn't raised on anything, so it's all Greek and confusing to me. And I imagine that probably is. Like, if you haven't had any of that in your life, then yeah, I would imagine that it's very, very strange. Like, I grew up with it. I totally understand people being like, what? But to me, it makes sense. To me, it makes sense. We have this amazing world that's been made for us. And I feel like, to me, the idea that it all just came to be and just happened to happen is kind of like throwing some papers in a printing press and getting a dictionary. I feel like there has to be order, and there has to be some sort of creator or some sort of higher power that put all of this together. If you look at life, just even in the smallest plant, there are so many magical things that happen. And I just don't believe that life just kind of happened, that we all happen to be on this planet, that happened to be the right amount of distance away from the sun, that just happens to have the right atmosphere, that just happens to be the perfect place with the perfect gravity for all of us to be here. I think there is definitely a higher, like a supreme creator. And I choose to believe that he loves his children and that he wants us to be happy. But that's also, that's also something everybody kind of has to figure out for themselves. Max says, I had some terrible church religious experiences, but I will always acknowledge that it was something that affected me. And if you/others find comfort with your religion, that's wonderful. It always makes me really sad when, like I said, it makes me really sad when members of the church or members of any religious, when they try to use that position of power to to basically be like, well, God asked me to do this. No. If you hate peanut butter jelly, I've heard stories of people being told, well, I'm the, I can't even think of what the title is, but I'm a head, like a person that was pretty high up in the church, and saying, well, I was told by God to do this. And then they proceed to do really awful things. And, I can tell you that that was definitely not called of God, and that he would never use somebody to hurt somebody else. And good luck to that person, because they're not going to get away with it. They might in this life, but they're not going to get away with it in the next life. All good things come from a loving Father in heaven, and all bad things come from the adversary. I fully believe that there is a devil at work, for sure. Yeah, the Yiga link. We just did a whole bunch of Yiga stuff. I follow Celtic paganism, very similar to Wicca, but without the gods. And there are some natural magic practices to use as tools to practice your faith, like incenses, herbs, light a candle, and reading tarot. See, that is something that I don't know a whole lot about, so that's fascinating to me. It auto-locks onto any enemy in front of you. Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, now I don't feel so vulnerable if I don't have if I lose a weapon or something. That's real nice. You just push the Y button when you don't have a thing. Jesus came to save people. Saying someone can be too far gone is kind of saying he's not very good at it. That's true. And he was the only perfect person on this earth. Once you get the manual, you just hold the attack without a weapon. Yeah. You have to push down and hold it. Yeah. Audrey says, but I accept everyone. And I think that's the best we can do. Because we are not in any position to judge anybody else, because we are also imperfect. So sure, I may have people, friends and stuff that I disagree with on their opinions about certain things or whatever, or even the way they live their lives. I don't even really agree with the way my sister lives her life or my brother lives his life. I feel like they could be doing some things differently that would really help them find more joy. But that is also not up to me to sit and shame somebody, because it is not my job to shame and it's not my job to condemn. My job is to show love and positivity and support and be a kind person. And I don't feel like that's that hard, but a lot of people do find that hard, and it's harder for some people to do that than others. But that's one of the reasons that's one of the reasons I stream. If I can bring positivity into at least even one person's day, that is worth it to me, hands down. By the end of the day, if I can feel like I offered something positive to somebody that needed to hear this, or that needed a laugh, or that needed to see somebody look totally idiotic doing something and it made them smile, I consider that a success. Shinespar says, I feel the same way, like you're reading my mind. Wait. Oh, Salty says, holy, I thought there was a specific moment when you got that ability, like when you got the paraglider. Oh, like the earthquake thing? Yeah, I didn't even know. Like, he was just kind of like, okay, guess you're one of us now. Peanut Butter Jelly says, long story short, I was a believer, then atheist, then agnostic, now believer. I've seen and experienced so much that there has to be God. Landrider says, I don't know a ton about practices in modern witchcraft, but I do know there are a bunch that help oneself to care more for themselves and those around them. Yeah, I don't know anything. Like, did you go to Hogwarts? Like, where's my letter? Yeah, I know nothing about any of that. I really don't. Was that a Shine Spark? Were you responding to Audrey accepting everybody? Was that when you said they were reading your mind? I'm sorry, I'm kind of behind on chat. Bye, Salty. Thanks for being here. I cannot wait to tell my dad that you know who he is. I struggled for a super long time with negative self-talk and fear. Celebrate Recovery taught me what surrender really means, and by his grace, I stopped struggling with negative self-talk 2 years ago, like a headache that went away, and I had to think about it when it stopped. I liken surrendering my issues to God, to Peter walking on the water. There is literally no amount of my own effort that can help me make it happen. So I heard a really interesting talk. Are you in the Discord, Chiron? I heard a really interesting talk that I really, really loved called the Imperfect Harvest. I would love to send it to you because it has a lot to do with that kind of thing. Because he was basically saying, like Peter may have, yes, Peter walked on water and then of course he looked down and got scared. But I imagine, the guy that was talking said something like, I imagine Christ said, hi, baby. We needed a nap, didn't we? He said, I imagine Christ said, Peter, you got out of the boat. So he was talking about there is no imperfect harvest because Christ perfects every harvest. So all the effort you make, he perfects that. Whoa, we got an invasive dog here. So I'd love to send that to you. Bye, Dad Bods. Thank you. I did not mean for this to turn into a total, like a super, super religious discussion. That's it. It's great for self-knowledge and a way to get away of some traps from the modern world. What in the heck weapon move was that? It's called the Earthquake Wave, I think. It's a Yiga Clan move. You gotta learn it from the Yiga. Yeah. Like those pictures of the universe and it's all twisty and colorful. It's beyond beautiful and then you realize it's a space consisting of millions of miles. It's inspired creation by something very beautiful. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like there has to be some sort of... Oh, creation. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Whenever I disagree with an opinion, I look at a picture of the globe and realize how there are many experiences in the world and it would be naive to judge. I agree. So really, the takeaway message is we just need to be kind and understanding, and be excellent to one another, right? We got to be excellent to one another because this life is hard enough, and nobody needs to go through life with it being any harder than it already is. And I don't want to be the reason anybody's life is harder than it should be. So that's my goal. But stream was awesome today, you guys. We had some new people come in, and I greatly appreciate that so much. I hope I see you guys again. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate the subs. I appreciate the follows. You guys are awesome. This was a great stream to start out the week. Yeah, be excellent. Thank you for joining the Discord. Did you find your batteries? I have to put her shirt on. See you later. Because she chews the front of her shirt. Honestly, most of the religions based on love and compassion, once you get it, they're all the same, but with different names and faces. Like Susie talking about a higher power. I get that, and I believe the same thing, but I would have explained it differently. There you go. See? Yep. Lots of different experiences. Lots of different, cultures and all sorts of things. Hi. Hey, don't put batteries in your mouth. No, ma'am. I'm glad she slept. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow, same time, 12:30 p.m. Central. I should have my giveaway figured out because of you guys. I appreciate all the subs that were donated toward that. And I'll hopefully have that figured out by tomorrow, but I'll be back tomorrow, regular time. Don't forget how much you matter and that this world is a better place with you in it. I love each one of you, and I'm so grateful for everybody's support. And I'm grateful for the really lovely conversation we had. I thought it was great. Love today. It was fun listening while watching my loopy brother who was high off his wisdom tooth removal. Man, I'm not one of those people. I just cry. Ander was really disappointed when I got my wisdom teeth out because I just cry. I'm not like funny and silly. But everybody have a good rest of your day, whatever time zone you are in, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Adios, guys. See you later.